Is it weird that a Wakanda series was announced? And all I want to talk about is why. Why now? The way they did it. What's changed? So we had the big Disney investors announcements back in December. There we got Ms. Marvel. We had new announcements like Armor Wars and Ironheart and the Secret Invasion series. And they announced Moon Knight's actor. They had a lot of stuff that they announced, didn't they? And then a month and a couple of days later, we get this. Okay, let's ponder. Do you guys remember in 2019 when they had D23, that big expo? Tom Holland was present to talk about his inward, outward, onward, that new movie. He was doing voice acting there. But he couldn't talk about Spider-Man. You see, I think that on that day, Marvel and Sony were negotiating, and Sony looked at Marvel on their specific announcing day as a negotiating tactic. You want, Marvel, you guys want to finish this negotiation before that date so that you can have something to say and you won't have the awkward moment. And Marvel said, we're not even worried about that. Likewise, now, when Ryan Coogler, his production company, Proximity Media, I didn't know they existed until now. Are they doing Space Jam? So Proximity Media was probably looking at, in December, Disney's going to have this investors call. They're going to want to make a big show. We have leverage. And they're like, okay, that's our offer. What do you think? And Disney just waited for that date to come and waited for that date to go. Similar like they did with the Sony Spider-Man negotiations. That's my imagination working for me. Is that it? Maybe that's why it took so long. Also, what could be a factor is today is February the 1st, and it's called Black History Month in places to people who celebrate that. Maybe that's why the announcement was made today and held off on until today as some sort of maybe celebration or maybe good news story. Is that the right thing to do? No. The last time I might have said this was last year's Black History Month, but I don't think Black History Month. So like that's my reaction. Did you guys ever see Morgan Freeman's reaction? So it's whatever. You know, I could look at this and say that by announcing it on February 1st for the sake of Black History Month, you are taking away from airtime which could be given to actual Black history. This could be a day where we're learning more about Harriet Tubman. This could be a day where the news channels were saying it's the first day of Black History Month, and rather than finishing with, and World of Wakanda is coming to Disney Plus, they could be, and Martin Luther King gave this speech and we're going to play a clip. You never know. So it's one of those things where you could be doing a disservice in your quest for we are not racist, everybody. That stuff, which is, it's in Hollywood. I'm sick of it. Let's actually talk about the announcement, though. Let's have fun. World of Wakanda is probably what it's going to be called. That's what comic books are called. There's always going to be the Black Panther comic. There's always a solo Black Panther. And then there's always that secondary book here and there. Like last year, I mean, we had the Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda. That was the interesting thing that they were doing. There's been Black Panther versus Deadpool. Why am I blanking? There's been other sort of Black Panther related stories. Black Panther and the Crew, or Wakanda Forever. That was like a 3-parter. We've always had this secondary book to accompany the main title of the Black Panther. I can't speak today. So I think it is World of Wakanda. I would focus around Shuri would be a recurring character. Okoye would have to return also. And you'd get to see a couple more Dora Milaje highlighted. Like Ayo, she barely gets anything. But let's give her more. And then let's make a new Dora Milaje enter the franchise. Just hire a new actress. Boom, you have her for 10 years and she'll sign because she's not in demand anywhere. And you took care of that problem. I'd also introduce the mutant. His nickname is Gentle. And his real name is something like Nesno. I'm never sure how to pronounce it. But he's this guy who's half Russian. He has the mutant ability to gain strength, get larger. They have to put vibranium tattoos on him, which is cool in comic books because it makes you look different. How many bald black guys are there in Marvel? When you look at Luke Cage is bald now. When you look at, is Bishop bald again? No, he's not bald. I'm just saying. I like when comic book characters have a different look than from each other. That's why I like Cyclops' visors. You've never mistaken Cyclops for anybody because of what they put on his face. I would introduce that character. Shuri, Okoye, and Ayo are returning. Daniel Kaluuya probably not because he should be in jail, right? His tribe. But maybe, just maybe, a brand new character who is a student who is of the same age as Bruno, Bruno being Kamala Khan's friend in Ms. Marvel. Because there is maybe two comic books where this character appears from Wakanda, one in Wakanda, and there's another one where he's like a foreign exchange student visiting New Jersey and acting like you guys are so primitive. Wow, this is interesting. I'd introduce that character here in their show. And he doesn't even need to have a big line, a big role. The same way Darcy Lewis was kind of just, what, sixth from the top of billing on in the Thor movies, and all of a sudden we get a really impressive outing here in the Disney Plus. They could do something like that for her, for this new character. Introduce some new Wakandans. Show me around Wakanda, the city life, the wildlife, and also give me a story. I don't have to even say this. This is Ryan Coogler. It's in great hands if Ryan Coogler's the guy developing it. This is good news for everyone involved. The only thing is the delivery of the news that I question. What exactly could be happening here? Is it negotiations? Is it social justice? What's the word? Showcase? Is it that? If it is that, whatever. I can get over it. And if it's the negotiation thing, okay, Feige, I see you. Okay, Coogler, I see you. They probably knew that it was coming. What date is this going to be announced at? That's another question. Will it be before the film or will it be after the film? In my opinion, it should be before. The Black Panther film scheduled for July of 2022. And if they're planning it now, no, they're not going to have enough time. No, things usually film a whole year in advance for Marvel. So I guess it's happening afterwards. It'll be the after effects of his film. So if Coogler's thinking about what's happening after his film, then it must mean that the plans for actual Black Panther 2 are set in stone. Now with Michael B. Jordan saying I'm not opposed to returning, I think they probably figured out what they're doing by the time that Michael B. Jordan made that announcement, that statement. So it doesn't look like that's happening. It doesn't look like we're getting Killmonger returning, which I'd be okay with. Killmonger returning to the Black Panther series because of what just happened, with us losing Chadwick Boseman, I'd be like, yeah, it's okay to reverse that death. Pretend the death didn't actually happen. Maybe Shuri got in there and fixed him up quickly. The same way I think she fixed Vision. I really do think she was done with downloading Vision's mind into where it needed to be. Corvus Glaive comes up in the office, smashes her, gets the Infinity Stone, gets Vision. I think that was completed. I think her mission was done. Shuri is very key in this next part of Black Panther. She probably will be the Black Panther. They're going to probably fast forward that. Maybe a couple of montages. Not maybe. They definitely do got to make sure that you can see time passing from young Shuri finding out about what happened to her brother. Maybe her brother goes off into space. Bye, T'Challa. And it'll be like a send-off the same way that Fast and Furious, Paul Walker. Remember how his car just drove to the side of the road? It's been a long... That we'll do that again. We'll have a big music to open the movie. Huge send off. It's T'Challa, but he'll be in his Black Panther suit, and we're gonna see him go away. Bye, and he goes in a spaceship, and he's looking for that first meteor with all the vibranium in it, because that's a top priority. After what Thanos just did, what we got to be looking about the origins of space, the origins of our vibranium, how we could move forward and help not just humanity. We don't need to just open to the rest of the world. We need to open to the universe. Wakanda needs to become this great thing. So that's a perfect reason for him to go out into space. And with him leaving, there's a hole in Wakanda. We do need a new Black Panther just in case. Boom. It's not perfect, but that explains why T'Challa isn't going to be in the new movie. And from there, we move forward, however Ryan Coogler wants to. It's very wise not to make expectations get yourself in trouble like that. Okay. Long video. There's going to be a Wakanda series coming up. Good news. Looking forward to it.